Hey, good evening, Spring High parents, students, whoever the heck's watching this. I'm Jim Forshay. I am a geometry teacher. I'm the geometry team lead. This is my 16th year at Spring. I've been the team lead of geometry for 13 or 14 of those years. So I know what I'm doing. Been here quite a while. Sorry I could not be there tonight. I've been dealing with some health issues, and there's just no way I could have made it all the way to 8:30. I guarantee I couldn't have made it to 6:30 when this thing started. So I'm sorry that I'm not there, but I'm gonna try to make this video so that y'all can watch it and still get the full effect of everything else. So yeah, let's go. Okay, now I know you probably have seen all this in all the classes your kids, all your other kids' classes. Excuse me. Please, you know, disregard, fast forward stuff as you see fit. We were told we had to keep everything in here and not change anything, so bear with me. In Aries is a good thing. It has grades and attendance. Class schedules, assignments will be listed in there as well. Progress reports, report cards. To get access to Aries as a parent, you can scan this QR code and it should come up with something. Let's go on. Dress code. Like I said, I'm sure you've been seeing this already. House shoes or similar shoes are not permitted. They need to have a back to them. So the Crocs aren't supposed to be a thing. House shoes aren't supposed to be a thing. Man, I wouldn't want to wear house shoes at school. I'd be scared somebody to step on my foot and break something. I don't know why I think a regular shoe would be better than that, but house shoes are so delicate. I just don't understand that one. Short skirts, dresses must be mid-thigh, no longer in length. Tight, loose, revealing, or short clothing is not allowed. And pants must be worn at the waist. Visual or written messages must be school environment appropriate and exclude, but not limited to, drugs, alcohol, tobacco, weapons, violence, and or vulgar language. Dress code consequences. Students who are out of dress code will not be allowed in class until parents can bring clothing. Consequences will be administered for repeat violations per the student code of conduct. Students are considered tardy if they're not in classroom after the bell rings. Doors will be closed. Tardy students must receive a tardy pass from the nearest assistant principal's office to enter the classroom. No exceptions. No shows will be marked absent and parent contact will be made. If a student arrives to class 15 minutes or more after the bell without a valid pass, they are considered absent. In Aries, we mark that absence with an L, and the L stands for late tardy, meaning they're tardy, but they are so tardy that they're not going to get credit for that being there that day. So if you see that in Aries, that means that your child was not in the classroom and managed to skip at least 1/3 of the class doing I don't know what. I never ask because I really don't want to know usually. But that means, they were out of class the first 15 minutes of class. So it's kind of a big deal. You're going to skip that much class. Not only that, but it's so rude to the teacher. Man, it's really hard. It just shows so much disrespect to the teacher. Like they're saying, your class doesn't matter to me. I'm going to be late every single day, and I don't care. And man, I'm like, all right. The way I've started taking it is fine. You're not going to care, show me any respect and be in my class on time. When you need that extra 2 points to pass my class, I'm probably not going to want to give it to you because you've been so disrespectful to me. Every day you're missing that much class. It's anger inducing sometimes. All right, moving on. School arrival entry procedures. Building entry begins at 6:30. All students will enter and pass through a metal detector. They check for student ID, Chromebooks, dress code. They go through bags. Parents will be contacted to make sure you have all the essentials for entry. I'm not quite sure what that last line means. I'm assuming that means that if you're out of dress code, don't have your Chromebook or your student ID, parents will start being contacted. We will see. I do not know. All right. Texas compulsory attendance. What that means is, excuse me. What that means is parents, kids are required to be in class 90% of the time. And so if they are absent or if they have late tardies that will count as absences, then they are not going to get credit if they have more than 10 during a 6-month period, during the what? This is way too confusing the way this is written. The way it was explained to me, if they have more than 10 absences or more during a 9 weeks, is that correct? No, during a semester, then they will lose credit for that class. So every time your kid is 15 minutes late to class, that's going down as an absence for them, and they're not going to get credit for being there that day. So that counts as one of those 10 because they're skipping class for the first 15 minutes. If you need more information on it, please scan the QR code, and I'm sure you can read up on it. Even if your child is 16 years old and skips class without you knowing, parents are considered responsible. Ooh. All right. Classroom entry expectations. Arrive to class on time. Ensure cell phones and earbuds are put away. Cell phone use during class is not allowed. Now, until we all get Chromebooks, this one is kind of a gray area for me because I have kids that only have a cell phone. They don't have a Chromebook yet, and they need an electronic device to be able to do some of the work in my class. So I usually cut them a little bit of a break. They need to be in dress code, wearing their ID badge, and have a fully charged Chromebook ready to learn. I have many charging stations in my room, so if they don't have a fully charged Chromebook, they can certainly charge it while they're working today. Oh, I hate the way this is worded. Okay. Grading categories. There are summative assignments and there are formative assignments. Okay, summative, those are major grades. Formatives are daily grades. That's what that means. Don't like when they decide to start use big words to explain things to people that don't use these things all the time. It's like parents aren't going to know what a formative assignment is versus or not many parents are going to know that anyways. So anyways, a summative assignment is like a test or a project. It is worth 50% of your grade. Formative assignment, pop quizzes, exit tickets, classwork, homework, that's the other 50% of their grade. If they don't take their tests, if they refuse to take any tests, if they're absent every day of the tests, they're not going to pass class. If they don't turn any homework in, if they don't do any work in class, if they just sit there and play on their Chromebook or on their phone or whatever, they're not going to pass the class. Okay? They have to do both. It's not an option. I'm not saying I'm a big fan of that policy. I really preferred it back when we were 70-30, when tests were 70% of your grade and homework was 30%. Because that meant if you knew how to do the work on the test and you just took the test seriously, you could still pass. Okay? You didn't have to do any daily work if you didn't want to, and you could just pass. When they changed this to 50-50, passing rates went down so far that nobody paid attention to it, though. All right, this I actually said absent work policy, but that was not our absent work policy. This is our late work policy. Late work will be deducted at a maximum of 10 points per day for a maximum of 5 days. If you turn in on 5th grade, your highest grade possible will be a 50. After 5 days, late work may not be accepted. Now, this is the district policy that I have to read to you. My policy is more lenient than that. My policy is that I will not take any points off. That is mainly for my benefit because having to remember when was this assignment due? Okay, that was 4 days ago, so that would be 40 points off. And then grade the assignment and go, oh, they only made a 50 on it anyways. And it's a lot of work to do that. So my policy is I don't take any points off. You have 2 calendar weeks to get it done. At the second calendar week, the assignment's going to be turned off in Schoology, and they will not be able to submit it. But they get 10 full days to get the assignment done. Now, if you're out a lot for health reasons or whatnot, talk to me. We'll get something worked out. Don't worry about that. But just that's only for those that are out for a valid health reason. Like there better be a note somewhere in the office from a doctor or something. Whoops, too far. Credits. You get half credit every semester. Most courses are 1 credit, and you get half credit each semester. Which, you end up earning the whole. Failing a course during a semester will result in having to retake the course. Pass it the first time. I cannot stress that enough. Dismissal procedures. Really? So at the sound of the bell, students will report to their proper dismissal location. Buses depart at 2:38. On the main campus, that's the front of the building if you're a car rider. The bus ramp, which is to the east of the building. Okay, yeah, it is. And then walkers will exit towards the buses. That makes sense. You don't want to go out the front. There's a freeway right there. You don't want to do that. So that's dismissals. Did I skip a page? Let me double check that. No, I'm good. All right, so my Spring ISD email is jforshay@springisd.org. This is just the school phone number. I don't have a Google phone number anymore. I have a Google text number, but not a Google phone number. My conference is at 8:45 a.m. every day. Email me for an appointment if we need to talk. We could do it through a Google Meet if you want to. Whatever the case may be. And I have tutorials from 2:30 to 3:15 Monday and Wednesday. If your child has me for 5th period, I have C lunch from 11:30 to 12, or they have C lunch from 11:30 to 12. Students have a minimum of 4 assignments per week in my class. We usually are working every single day. But there are some days I would imagine that things happen and we may not. Something might come up and we may not have an assignment that day. If I have to get pulled, go back to the hospital or something, there will definitely be a day where there's not there will be an assignment that day, but whether or not I count it as a must-do grade or not is I'm probably not going to do that. I'm probably going to just hang on to it and use it as extra credit or something like that if they did it. Anyways, I hope that that cleared anything up. If you had any questions about the class, I gotta say, for the most part, me being out so much, my kids have been very, very understanding and real sweet about it too. A lot of them asking me if I'm okay. I'm also out a lot because my mom is my mom's dying. She's in Dallas and things aren't going well, and we kind of expect it to be any time now or during before Christmas probably. And my kids are asking me a lot about that. I don't like to talk about that a whole bunch. I'm not a big touchy-feely show my feelings person, but I am. That's the other situation. And kids are doing really well with that. Got a couple, I'm not sure who they are, but a couple of them decided, oh, he's not here today. What can I steal? And they've taken some stuff that I was a little upset about. But overall, I got a great group of kids this year. Some of them are going to breeze through this class, and some of them are going to have a really hard time because they can't seem to make it here on time. But anybody who shows up and at least attempts to do the work and gives me a little bit of attention when we're going over stuff, they're going to do just fine. All right. Y'all have a great evening. Sorry again I could not be there.